up for y'all. Go. Pin that to the top. Booyakasha. And there we go. We are good to go. Right. So I guess without further ado,
let's get ready to rumble!
This weekend we've got a couple of cards that are worth talking about. First we have the George Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez card happening. There is one heavyweight fight on there, the return of the Big Bang Jili Zhang. He will be taking on Craig Lewis, but we do have Teofimo Lopez, of course, the main event, 16-0, unified 135 champion, also the holder of the WBC franchise, and well, you know, with it's a franchise belt. It's not the real thing. So the words of Mauricio Solomon were
the franchise, it's not a new championship or a title, it's a designation.
So there you have it. So yes. Anyways, George Kambosos, Australian fighter. He is currently 19-0. Hasn't really fought anybody besides Ali Selby, and he struggled in that fight. Well, I don't know about struggled. Uh-oh. What was that noise? Something disconnected? I need a sound check by the looks of it. So let me do a quick sound check, team. Make sure it's all still running alright. I need a sound check by the looks of it. No, we're good. It's all good. Yes, so back to it. Teofimo Lopez taking on George Kambosos for Teo's 3 titles. The IBF, the WBO, and the WBA titles. He picked up the WBO and the he got the IBF from Richard Covey. He got the WBA and the WBO from Vasily Lomachenko. So it's a mandatory. It's a meh. I don't think Kambosos is gonna beat him. I think he's gonna try and bring the fight though. He might get a few rounds. Teo's saying he's gonna knock him out in the first round, but I'm not down with that. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Teo's gonna get him out of there in 4 or 5, maybe even 6. Shit, it might even go late, but I don't think Kambosos is getting out of that fight without touching that canvas once or twice at least. But I haven't made any bets for the weekend yet, so just looking at a whole lot of stuff at the moment. Pretty much just winging it tonight, man. Cruising, drinking a few vodkas, enjoying myself, waiting for the weekend's boxing to come. There are other fights on there as well, of course. We've got a super featherweight fight between Azanga Fazili. He's 15-1. He's going to be taking on... Shit, am I on the right one? Yeah, I am. It's supposed to be the co-main. Super featherweight, but I don't know fuck all about these tiny guys. Going below 135 is pushing my interest. Anyway, this dude, I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, it's 25-1. I'll look for some people that we know on here. Felix Carabello, heard the name before, 13-2. Taking on Raymond Ford. That's at featherweight. Super light as well. We've got, man, I'm not even going to bother with these. We'll go to the Zhilei Zhang fight now. This one is one I wanted to talk about a little bit. Zhilei Zhang looked like arse in his last fight. He battled his way to a, was it a split draw? Let me have a quick look here. I think it was a split draw. Oh no, it was a UD over 8. What the hell? This don't look right. I'm looking at the wrong dude. I am looking at the wrong dude. That's white. Zhilei Zhang. There we go. It was a majority draw over 10 rounds. And he took on Jerry Forrest. Most of y'all would have seen Jerry Forrest, but Jerry went down a couple of times early in the fight, and then Zhilei hit the wall, dehydrated, out of energy. He lost the second half of the fight, but if it hadn't been for those knockdowns, he would have been in real trouble. But as it was, he was in trouble with his health. He was having kidney failure because of dehydration. Drank 2 bottles of water apparently before a couple of days before, or the few days before the fight, and that was it. In Florida when it's hot, so he paid for it. Got some kidney failure, had some major problems. He's coming back, and we should see him refreshed. But we mustn't forget, you know, Zhilei Zhang ain't no spring chicken, man. 6'6" southpaw, but he's 38 years old. When's his birthday? Must be pretty close to 39. Doesn't show his birthday. Just tells his age. Where is it? Birthplace. Doesn't say his birthday. Career debut. It's weird with boxing. Sometimes it says their birthday. Sometimes it says the age. Anyway, he's 38. I'm getting to the long end of his, or the long part of his tooth and the end of his career. So he's only 22-0 with 1 draw at present. But you know what? Many people think Craig Lewis is going to give this guy trouble. It's quite possible, but if Zhilei Zhang is in 100% health, I think he's going to steamroll this dude. I mean, Craig Lewis is 14-4 with 1 draw, right? He is durable, I'll give him that, but I've seen him fight a few times. He is slow. He is low volume. He has crap footwork. He's got a bit of a punch, but he's so slow it's hard for him to land anything on him. So he's got a loss to Carlos Takam. That was his last fight. And it went the distance, right? Unanimous decision. His previous fight before that was Jermaine Franklin. Unanimous decision loss. If you're losing a unanimous decision to Jermaine Franklin, there ain't no way in shit hell you're gonna beat Zhilei Zhang. I'm not saying Zhilei Zhang's any world beater, but Jermaine Franklin, dude's a joke. He also fought Junior Fa, and Junior Fa beat him to a majority decision. It was only over 8. Wow, I don't know that it was a majority decision. Let me look at those cards. What the fuck happened there? I watched that fight and it was clear. To me, that Junior Fa won that easily. Referee, where's the scores? Okay, one judge had it. Which fighter is on which side? Junior Fa. Alright, judges had it 76-76. One of them had it a draw. 78, 74, 79, 73. How the fuck can you get cards that different? One guy gave Craig Lewis 1 round, one gave him 2 rounds, and the other one gave him 4 rounds. Guy gave him 4 rounds, Ray Damasco. Wonder if he's related to Craig Lewis or some shit. So I watched that fight and that was clear. But anyways, back to it. Those are his previous 3 fights, being previous 3 losses. Now he had a win before that. He had a KO win in the 2nd round over Glenn Brown. Mr. Plain. The dude was 44-37 with 1 draw. And then prior to that he had his first loss, Craig Lewis's first loss, that was to Demetrius Banks, who at the time was 8-0. And prior to that, I'm having trouble recognizing any of these names. By Robert Sims, I know of. Definitely, well, he's only got a few fights, but I've heard of him. Travis Fulton, he fought. Losing record, 24-44. Yeah, no, I can't see any. Oh, Tyrell Jamal Woods, he fought him. He's actually fighting this weekend. But against another guy who's got a losing record. But when he fought Jamal Woods, Jamal Woods was 8-28. I mean, yeah, guys, the rest of his record looks like everybody has a losing record. 1-12, 8-23, 0-11, 1-7. So this guy's record was padded as hell to get up to about 10 fights, as most prospects are. But I can't see Craig Lewis beating Zhilei Zhang, and unless Zhilei Zhang is absolutely toasted from the health problems he suffered after his last fight. But yeah, I think Zhilei Zhang might even be able to stop this guy in the later rounds. Let me just see how many rounds that fight is actually, because that's going to matter. It's an 8-rounder, so he might not stop him. I don't think that's enough time. I don't know. I think there'll be maybe a knockdown in the 7 or 8, and it'll be a Zhang decision. But I don't see Craig Lewis being able to give Zhilei any trouble. Well, not much trouble, to be honest. Anyways, better get over to the chat and see what's going on over here. We've got a few comments. Scott 70 in the house, good to have you in. Stephen also in the house, good to see you, brother. I got Teo by stoppage. Fair enough. Yeah, I got Teo by stoppage. Oh, hold on, within 6. Yeah, if you're a gambling man, that's a tough push. I think if I was to place a bet, I'd probably group 4 rounds. Ooh, no, group 3 rounds. Group 3 rounds and go rounds 4 to 7 would be what I'd do. 4, 5, and 6. I think Kambosos is going to last a little bit in the early stages, but Tio's dangerous, isn't he? Tio's hella dangerous. Right, so what else we got here? Scott. For those of you who don't know, Stephen Ismaiah. Hannah will be in the house. Good to have you in as well, brother. Might see if I can push this pop out chat out, then I can. He's all squashed up. There we go. Now I can see better. Hi everyone, there we go. Phil Carl Roberts. Morning. It's coming up to 10 o'clock at night over here, brother. Alright, so let me get back to it. So looking at BoxRec while I'm yarning away here, fellas. But there is a link up the top there if anybody wants to jump on. I am in the chat. I just better go and check. I've had some changes with my sound setup, so just hoping everything's running alright. You can let me know in the chat, that'd be awesome. Alright, so getting back over, I think there was too much else on that TO card that was really worth talking about, to be honest. So I better just have a quick check before I move on, I suppose. Right, where was I? Down at Zhang. I got Christina Cruz. Yeah, true. Christina Cruz and how do I say that? Marguerite Williams. Yeah, women's fight. Ramla Ali didn't succeed at the Olympics. Fighting Isla Vera. Yeah, meh. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother with the other one. So the other cards I wanted to mention is headlined by Brandon Figueroa and Stephen Fulton. This is actually a pretty good fight. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. I think there's some unanswered questions for both guys. Both are unbeaten at this point. Stephen Fulton is 19-0. And Brandon Figueroa is 20-0 with one draw on his record though. The bookies have got Stephen Fulton as a heavy favourite. Well, they did last time I looked, this like a day and a half ago. But I think Brandon Figueroa's got a decent chance in this fight. Stephen Fulton's very crafty and probably got the higher skill level. But Brandon Figueroa hits like a freaking bus. He's got a pretty decent gas tank. His defense isn't the best, is his problem. So yeah, Stephen Fulton, who is 19-0, only has 8 KOs, so he's 50% KO ratio. Brandon Figueroa, slightly different story. 22. He's 22-0. Sorry, not 20-0, but he's got 17 knockouts with the one draw on his record as well. I can't remember off the top of my head who it was to. It was a split decision draw, and it was to Julio Cesar. Okay. At the time it was 32-4. Surprised they didn't get a rematch on for that, to be honest. But Figueroa hasn't faced the best of the division, mind you. He did knock out Luis Neri in the 7th round of 12 in his last fight, so that was a big statement. This Luis Neri ain't no slouch. At the time he was unbeaten at 31-0, so I think if Figueroa can get to Stephen Fulton, who's a very different fighter to Luis Neri, it could be all sorts of trouble for Fulton, but we just don't know whether he's going to be able to get to him or not. It's an interesting fight, man. I'm looking forward to it. If I was gonna place a bet on it, I'd have to be looking at a Figueroa stoppage. I don't think he can win it on points. But the reason I'd be looking at that, obviously, was because it'd be paying a lot better if Fulton is the heavy favourite. I'm guessing the odds for Stephen Fulton will be for a decision win. And I'm pretty confident that Figueroa has a good enough chin to handle anything that Fulton can throw at him. But also on the card, we've got Reese Alam, 18-0 prospect at Super Bantam. Will be, well, I don't know if you still call him a prospect's probably just about contender level almost, but Eduardo B. Baez, he's going to be fighting. He's 21-2, so it could be interesting, but to be honest, Super Bantams, I don't know shit about them, so I'm not going to comment too much on it. Gary Antonio Russell, one of the Russell brothers, 18-0, also on the card. He's going to be taking on Alexandro Santiago. He's 24-2 with 5 draws. Wow, 5 draws. That's right, 5 draws. Far out. 5 draws out of 33 fights. I don't think he could pull off another draw against Gary Antonio Russell. Gary Russell Jr. is the better one of the 3 brothers. Oh, however many brothers there are. But yeah, I don't know. Can't comment too much on it. Like I say, I don't know shit about these dudes under 135. It's not my cup of tea. Another super lightweight fight on that card. Who named their kid Rock Dollar? Rock Dollar Myrtle. Rock Dollar Myrtle. 17-0. That's got to be a name he made up, man. He's taking on a dude called Kevin Johnson, who's 9-7, 9-2 with 0 draws. That's a super lightweight. It's definitely not the Kevin Johnson that I would normally be speaking about. There's also a super bantamweight. I'm just gonna give up on that. Oh, there's a lightweight fight. Kenny Davis Jr. 7-2-1. It's fighting in a 6th rounder against Nelson Hamilton, who is 7-4. And yeah, I'm probably not going to watch most of that card because they're all midgets, but I'll definitely be watching that main event. Probably have a bet or 2 on it as well. We'll see. We will see. So get back to the chat. I don't expect TOU to be cautious. No, I don't either, man. He's definitely making out like he's gonna go hard, and it's when he's most dangerous in those first 2-3 rounds. Still fresh air, he's got lots of power, lots of speed, so that's definitely going to be the danger zone for Kambosos, but I'm sure he's going to get in close, try and get inside the range to minimize the damage that can be done. The closer you get inside arm's reach, the less power you can get to him. But Teo's got fairly good feet. I don't know, man. Kambosos, I think he's got a good enough chin to last a couple of rounds at least. But like I say, I think it'll be a group rounds 3 to 6 for me on that fight, just to try and maximise the odds out of it. But I haven't even looked at the bookies today, so have a look in the morning and see how we go. I've got filtered by decision. Not overly confident. So Scott 70, yeah. I think that's probably the most likely outcome, to be honest, Scott. But it's a pretty tough fight, yeah. I'm not that confident in any picks on that fight in particular, because I think Brandon Figueroa can just stop it with one punch if he can land it right. Scott $75 Figueroa stoppage. Fuck, that's alright, bro. 550. That's alright. That's alright. That's decent odds. I think it's worth chucking a few dollars on, but I wouldn't go mad on it, because it's a if he can get to him story, isn't it? And that's always a betting man's nightmare. The boxer, the puncher. Who's gonna get there first? I also saw another heavyweight actually fighting this weekend. Sergey Kuzmin is fighting an unbeaten dude. I better look that up. So look, let's see, Geykuzmin. Sergey Kuzmin. Russian, there he is. 15-2. He's taking on a guy called Igor Adel Machado da Silva. He's weighed in at 217 pounds. He's 10-0. Now I don't know who this dude is. I think I've heard the name, but I don't know who he is. But he's 10-0. Here's some stats on this dude. Orthodox, 6'3", 77-inch reach. Resides in Brazil. Born in Brazil. What's this record say here? Actually, I'll flick it over. You guys can watch what I'm looking at. Give me a sec here. Try that. There you go. Now you can see what I'm looking at. Alright, so. Okay, what's this dude's record? He's on debut, his last opponent. 8-2. Zucky's fought a whole lot of nobodies. Yeah. So this dude's trucked in for a he's trucked in for a payday for it to get knocked out by the looks of it. There's a few fights on this Russian card. We've got a couple of heavyweight cards actually. Who's this guy? Pavel Shulsky. Okay. It's on debut. You ever heard of the dude? Oh jeez. 6-1 this guy. Okay. Well. We've got no media listed. Oh, yeah, we do. Russian Ren TV. I know there might be something. Let me go see. This is the fights I have access to for the weekend. This is Friday. Wow. That'll be Saturday, because this is New Zealand time up here. So it'll be tomorrow for me. Fight start at 6 a.m. Harrod Davis. Oh yeah, Harrod Davis is fighting. I heard something about that somewhere too. So let's see what we can find on that. There he is, Harrod Davis. 22-2. There he is. Yep, it's definitely tomorrow. Nicholas Manangi. No, Nicholas Mvanji. Is that how you say it? Mvanji. Oh, fuck, I don't know. 10-3 with one draw. Let's see who else is on the card. And is it televised? Oh yeah, it is. ESPN. What? Oof. Okay, Mr. Muhammad, 11-1. Robert Barrera, 23-3. Rightio, Davis fighting this dude. Who the hell is he? I don't know. Just looking for anything worse. Oh, Ricky Fielding. Jeez, he's still fighting. 28-2. Emmanuel Demir. Danzo. 2-6. Okay. Oh, Buddy Jack's fighting? Oh, hang on. Hang on. What's going on here? United Arab Emirates. Okay. It's in Dubai. Interesting. Okay. Buddy Jack. Samuel Crossed. 11-1-1. Why is Buddy Jack fighting all these nobodies now? He's absolute freaking nobodies. Couple of bum fights on Triller. Now he's fighting this dude. Okay. Is what it is. Don't know this dude. No, he's 9-0. Welterweight. Yeah, okay. Ooh. Oh no, let's see Evgeny Romanov. It's a big card, man. There'll be some viewing. Starts early tomorrow morning for us Kiwis, 5 a.m. Oh, some entertainment. So it could be worth a look, man. Could be worth a look. What else do we have on here? We had the O'Hara Davis. Jay Harris. That's right. Let's see that somewhere too. I think saw Jack Massey, the cruiserweights, fighting as well. He's headlining event somewhere in the UK. Jay Harris. There he is. Hector Gabriel Flores is fighting. Oh, okay. That's a decent fight. 4 draws there though. Bet on a draw. It's worth $20 or 20 to 1 most of the time. Right, Jay Harris. Okay. Jacob Robinson. 8-0. Can't say I know the dude. Okay. 5-2. That's featherweight. That's why I don't know. super light. I won't know squat about these guys. Hakeem Brown. I know that dude. I see them on some show somewhere. Hakeem Brown. He's got a. I think he's fast. Fast, lots of punches, no power. From what I remember. Okay. This guy's getting a beating. And I think the last fight Hakeem Brown I saw him was a tough one for him. I think. Yeah, he got a loss. That's why it was tough. Yeah, I remember. Who was that over? Oh, Sam Maxwell. Yep, okay. That makes total sense. All of a sudden I remember it now. Old man memory. Jacob Robertson, Hakeem Brown, right. Dolby. So he had 2 fights. He's heavyweight though. Miles Gordon Derby. 2-0. Taking on the almighty TBA in the fucking fights tomorrow. That's obviously going to be a walkover opponent. Pretty much all the rest of those too, because they're all TBAs, hardly worth mentioning. Not even worth mentioning. So, alright. Send this back over here. And I'll get back to the chat, y'all. Oops. There it is. Alright, so yeah. I was hoping someone might jump on and want to have a yarn about some shiz. There is the WBA have ordered the next episode in the saga between Mahmoud Charr and Trevor Bryan. They've ordered the fight. If it goes to purse bid, there won't be a 10% deposit this time. It'll be 25%. There'll be nobody doing video conference calls. Everybody has to turn up to the purse bid in person. The WBA putting their foot down, trying to get this fight done and made, and maybe stop Don King fucking everybody around. Whether that can actually be done, I don't know, but it's been ordered anyway. Can't remember, maybe 120 days they got to make the fight. It might be 30 days, I can't remember, but it's got to be done. I'll get to that in a later video. So yeah, it's being made, and of course, should I better mention that there is a card being confirmed with Charles Martin and Luis Ortiz as the main event, but it's an all heavyweight card so far. Just give me a minute here. Can't spell Lewis or Luis. It's not Lewis. Luis Ortiz. Pro Boxer 1-0, that's not him. 22-14, that's not him. Holy shit, there's lots of Luis Ortizes. Holy shit, there's heaps of them. Oh, like seriously, there are heaps. A whole fucking page of them. Most of them are 01, 05, 07. Oh shit, it's gotta be near the top, surely. Luis Ortiz, Cuba. 22-14. 32. 32-2. Oh, that's his amateur at the top. They've got his amateur record here is 22-14. That's bullshit. Because he had over 300 near 350 amateur fights. So how can he only have 22 and 14? Alright, anyway, getting to this card. It's happening on January 1st, New Year's Day. It's been confirmed. So, yeah, Luis Ortiz, 32 and 2, taking on Charles Martin, who's 28, 2 and 1 draw. Shit, who was that draw against? Oh, that was back before he even got to a title shot, wasn't it? Can't remember who it was against. It was one of his earlier fights. But also on the card, we've got Frank Sanchez, who's just beaten FA juggler on the Wilder v Fury 3 undercard. He's now 19 and 0. He's going to be taking on Carlos Negron, who's 25 and 3. Now, Carlos Negron has shown some improvement, and the reason being, I think he's been training with Luis Ortiz's coach. I can't remember his name. Shit, I can't remember his name. Damn it. And he had been doing a bit better. He's been looking a lot better. His last fight, he got a first round stoppage. But being fair, the guy was 14 and 26. He was a bum. It was a confidence builder. It was Shakur Thompson, his name was. I'm talking about Carlos Negron here, by the way. Before that, he took on... What? Oh, Antoine Tubbs. Is it Tony Tubbs' relative or something? He was also a losing record, 15 and 5. Right, there we go, back to 16 and 3. Seth Alexander he beat. That was his last decent fight. I think I saw that one on some undercard off the top of my head. He won that by a UD over 8. We got a TKO before that in the second round against Rafael Rios. Rafael Rios wasn't too bad of a fight either. He's 11 and 2 at the time. But then we start getting down. He was getting close to his losses. He had one more win in the first round against Robert Alfonso. So he was a hot prospect at one time, wasn't he? Oh, he was 19 and 0. That's right, I remember seeing that one too. Robert Alfonso, I remember seeing that one. Yeah, he did knock him out in the first round. That was a good performance from Negron, particularly considering his last 2 fights before that were losses. Both of them by KO. He lost to Brian Howard in the first round. Got caught with a big shot. And we've seen Brian Howard, somebody knocked him out bad recently. Can't remember who it was, top of my head. But he does have a punch. You got to be careful in those first few rounds, and it looks like Carlos Negron wasn't. Also before that, he got beaten down by Dominic Brazil. He didn't look that bad in that fight, but I think it was a fight or two after that he changed trainers after his second loss there. Well, his most recent loss after that, he changed trainers. Was it Kei Korima? Who the hell is it? Can't remember his name. But anyways, I think Frank Sanchez will still beat Carlos Negron convincingly, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be a points decision. I don't think he's going to stop Negron with the improvements. We've also got on that card the rematch between Johnny Rice and Michael Pollock Coffey. the new confidence that Jonathan Rice has in himself, I think Michael Polite Coffey's going to be pushing some shit uphill in this fight. He did not look very good at all in that last fight. He was getting caught with a straight right so much. I was sitting there watching that fight yelling, "Get your hands up." I might have even commentated on that fight, but he stays in that Philly shell, or a southpaw stance with the left hand right down low, trying to use his reactions as defense, but he was just getting caught with the straight right nearly every time. Dude needs to learn how to hold the phone, man. Hold the phone. I don't think he's a natural southpaw either, Michael Polite Coffey. So it's all fine and dandy using it as a tactic to outwit your opponent, but if your opponent's beating you to the shot, you need to go back to your natural stance and get yourself back on top before you start trying to play Mr. Smartass. There is another very good fight on that card. Gerald Washington, who's 20-4 with one draw, is also going to be fighting on the card. He's taking on Ali Aran Demirazin, who's 14-1. The only loss he had was to, I think it was F.A. Ajagba, and it was a tough fight for F.A. I'm sure Demirazin will be trying to make a few more improvements, and you know what, I think he can beat Gerald Washington. I think he can beat him, but I don't know if he will. Gerald's going to get a little bit more tired, I think, than Demirazin in the later rounds. He always slows down, but Washington does have a punch. If he can do some damage in those first 4 or 5 rounds, he might be able to slow Demirazin down. I think we have a hell of a fight on our hands for that one, to be honest. I haven't looked at any odds for that one, but that's miles away, so the odds will be way out anyway. Also on the card, we've got Victor Vikhurst, or Victor Valst as the Germans like to call him, who's 8-0. He'll be taking on Iago Kaladze, the guy who's looked pretty decent in losses against a few up-and-coming prospects. He's the guy who put F.A. Ajagba on his ass. I think he was outboxing Adam Kovnarski for the first few rounds. Who else did he? He looked alright. I think he fought Zhili Zhang as well. Shit, did he put Zhili Zhang down as well? Nah, I don't know. Let me see. F.A. Ajagba. I'm sure it was F.A. that he put down. Lost by KO on the 5th. Zhili's been down a couple of times in his career so far. Robert Alfonso, he fought before that. Oh no, he had a split decision draw with Robert Alfonso. That ain't a good look, man. That ain't a good look. YG. Well, it's not a good look for Robert Alfonso. He's supposed to be the up-and-coming prospect at the time, I think. Let me see. Where is he? Adam Kovnarski. Who else did he fought? Oh, he fought Michael Hunter. That's right, he didn't look too bad against Michael Hunter for a little bit, but see, Kaladze also used to be a cruiserweight. He's come up as well, just like Michael Hunter. Shit, fucking moved on me. Yeah, Robert Alfonso was 18-0 at the time. Kaladze's also fought Joe Joyce, who at the time was only 5-0. When he fought Michael Hunter was 13-1. Who else was there? Adam Kovnowski. See, this dude's fought a lot of people. He's gonna pull off a victory one of these days, and I think Teddy Atlas trains him. Is it Teddy Atlas? It might be. No, it's not Teddy Atlas. It's what's his name? The mumble guy with glasses. Fuck, I can't remember his name. Train Manny Pacquiao, for God's sake. Freddie Roach, that's his name. I think Yago Collazo is a Freddie Roach fighter. But yeah, it could be somewhat interesting for a look. And that is it. But I think Victor Vickers should punch his head off after about 4 rounds at the most. Just punch right through him and beat him down. So it is what it is, man. What other news is there? Dillian White's tied up with legal arbitration, so he can't be ordered to, or Tyson Fury can't be ordered to fight him until that's out of the way. Let me back over in the chat now, team. Sorry, I missed a bit over there. You're Freddie Roach, thanks. Thanks, Scotty. Laughing in the stream. Naughty. What's that, naughty? Man, you think that ain't laughing, man? Check this shit out. I'll show you fucking laughing. Where is it? Oh, I can't find my damn sound effects now. What was it called? Do this one first. Just
Finish him!
Finish him. Here it is. Now that's laughing. Yeah, finish him. Hey man, I've got some other funny ones. See if I can find them now. Took some sound bites of someone we all know. Not many of us like it much, but it'll be funny if I can find it. I was gonna make a meme up of all these little sound bites, but I never got around to it. Must be back in another file. Here it is. Here it is. Check these out.
Big boy, you be looking like a hoe ass dude when you be saying some stupid ass shit like that. You look like a bitch ass nigga when you talk like that, dude.
You like that shit? Funny. Here's another one.
Fag bitch ass niggas.
What else have I got here?
Fuck out of my face.
Here's another one.
Now get the fuck out of here, bro. Oops.
Did I say that?
That's what you won't believe.
I'll go back to the chat in a minute and see if you guys have guessed who it is.
I got no beef.
But really, honestly,
I got no beef.
Oh, that's enough fun of that. Yeah, man, he was blowing the fuse. He was blowing the fuse. I made some comments that pissed him right off, so I decided I'd take some sound bites. I should put them in my stream collection so I can use them when I want to be funny. Anyways, I suppose, is there any other fights you guys would like to mention before I close this down and think about getting myself into a game session? Go and play some FNC if anybody's interested. You know how to find me. You just gotta look up the description. It's got everything in there. If anyone wants to play FNC, give me a holler and I'll get into it. Iron Band, I used to have a laugh following him. Yeah, I used to go over there and throw some comments just to get a reaction out of him. But hey, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, guys, that is about it for today. Had a bit of a yarn, covered a few things, and we'll see how the weekend's boxing go. But yeah, I'm picking Teofimo round 5. I'm picking, what else was there? Yeah, quick look. Can't remember. Yeah, quick look. Where's my goddamn? There it is. The stream side up. There we go. So yeah, picking Ohara Davis to beat this Barroso. Don't even know the dude, so it's a guess. Jay Harris, I think he'll outbox Hector Gabriel Flores, maybe. I think. Not too knowledgeable on that one either, so don't take my word for it. Erica Cruz, no, not even going to comment on that one. What else we got? Already gave my TO prediction. Round 5 is what I'm picking, to be specific. And Stephen Fulton via the Brandon Figueroa. I've got to go with Fulton on points, but if I put a bet on it, I'll put a little something on Brandon Figueroa for the stoppage, I think, especially if it's around 550 like Scott was saying. I think it's got a good chance of doing something, a decent chance, but of course I'll be hedged with the more probable stuff, won't I? Because I'm not Odomas. Anyways, that's me for tonight, team. Hope you all have enjoyed. Catch you next time. Take it easy.
So that's us for today. I hope you have enjoyed. You can show your appreciation with a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to check out our Discord community where you can find boxing news, fight links, live streamed fights, and much more. So look after yourself and your family. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. See you!